Every single time you're online, you're leaving behind a trail of digital breadcrumbs. It's what we call your digital footprint. So today, we're going to follow that trail. We'll see what it reveals about you, who's watching it, and most importantly, how you can be the one to take control of your own story online.
Okay, so let's set the scene. You've just sent in your application for your absolute dream job. Your resume looks amazing, the cover letter is perfect, you hit send, you're feeling great. But what's the very first thing that recruiter does before they even think about picking up the phone?
Yep, they search for you online. Before you ever get a chance to walk in and make a great first impression, they are already building one in their head based on whatever they can find on the internet. And that, right there, is a massive deal. Because that online search, it's like a pre-interview, one you don't even know you're having. Your social media is, for all intents and purposes, your first impression.
I mean, think about how fast a complete stranger can piece together a story about you. From just a few pictures and posts, an employer can figure out what you look like, they can probably guess where you live from a few tagged locations, they know your hobbies, and they can even get a sense of your views on really important topics. It's amazing how complete a picture they can paint.
So all of this stuff, all this information that a recruiter can dig up, well, that's what we call your digital footprint. So let's really break down what that means. To put it simply, your digital footprint is the collection of every single trace you leave online. And it's not just the stuff you post yourself, your photos, your comments, your status updates. It's also what other people post about you. Think about a friend tagging you in a photo. All of it, together, builds your online identity. Okay, now here's a really crucial distinction to make. Your footprint has two totally different parts. On one side, you've got the information you mean to share. Your active posts, your comments, your likes. But then there's the other side, and this is probably the bigger piece of the puzzle. It's the data you share without even realizing it. We're talking location data embedded in your photos, your private search history, even how many seconds you stared at a pair of shoes on a shopping site.
So why does all this matter?
Well, it boils down to three really big things. One, it reveals a ton about you and your personality. Two, once something is out there, it can be shared and spread in ways you have absolutely no control over. And three, and this is maybe the most important one, this footprint is basically permanent.
And that whole permanent thing brings us to our next big idea. See, when you post something for your friends, you're probably not thinking about a future boss seeing it or some marketing company. But the thing is, they're part of your audience too, whether you know it or not.
I mean, just let that sink in for a second. Forever. Even if you hit delete on a post, chances are it's already been saved or screenshotted or archived somewhere. The internet doesn't really have a forget button. And understanding that permanence is just fundamental to our digital lives. Actually, here's a really interesting way to think about it. Imagine your digital footprint is like a personal time machine, but it's one that pretty much anyone can use to take a trip into your past. Someone, like that recruiter we talked about, or maybe a new friend, they can instantly travel back and see the person you were years and years ago. The jokes you told, the opinions you had, the places you went. Your past is kind of digitally frozen in time, and it's all accessible.
And this group of people, the ones you don't know are watching, this is your invisible audience. It's not just your friends and followers, it's their friends, it's data collecting companies, and yeah, it's that future employer a decade from now. You might think you're posting for just a few people, but you're actually broadcasting to a whole crowd you can't even see.
So, besides potential employers, who else is in this invisible audience? Well, a huge part of it is companies. And for them, your data isn't just random information. It's a full-blown business model. Now look, everyone has their own comfort level with this stuff. Some people, like Amira here, are total open books online. Other people, like Raya, like to keep things really private. And there's no right or wrong answer. It's all about figuring out what your own boundaries are.
But no matter what your personal settings are, the modern online economy is pretty much built on one thing. Companies collect your information to sell highly targeted advertising. In this world, your data is an incredibly valuable product.
So how does that even work? How do your random searches become those eerily specific ads? Well, it's basically a four-step process. First, you just go about your day online, searching, browsing, liking things. Second, behind the scenes, companies are collecting all of that data. Third, really powerful computer algorithms sift through all of it to build a detailed profile of who you are. And finally, that profile gets used by advertisers to show you ads they are pretty sure you're going to click on. You ever just talk about something and then see an ad for it? This is exactly why.
Okay, I know. This can all start to sound a little overwhelming, maybe even scary. But here's the good news. You are not powerless in this. Not at all. There are real active steps you can take to manage your footprint and protect your privacy.
So this is the most important question of all, right? What can you actually do about it? Let's dive into some real, practical strategies you can start using today.
Here are 5 really powerful strategies. First, go into your social media and actually manage your privacy settings. Decide who sees what. Second, turn off location tracking for any app that doesn't absolutely need it to function. Third is just good security. Use strong, unique passwords. Fourth, a simple one, hide your activity status so people don't know when you were last online. And fifth, switch off automatic login. Make your apps require a password or a fingerprint every time. Each one of these is a small change, but together they make a huge difference.
Ultimately, every click you make, every post you share, every search you type, it's all writing a new sentence in your digital story. So the question I want to leave you with is this. Are you just going to let algorithms and that invisible audience write that story for you? Or are you going to be the one holding the pen? The choice really is yours.